Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ferndale City Council meeting for Monday, May 9, 2016. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Marnie, would you call the roll, please?
Council members Leaks May. Here. Martin.
Here.
Pollica.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Piana.
Here.
And Mayor Coulter.
Here. Thank you. We're all here this evening. Next item of business would be the approval of the agenda. What's council's pleasure on the agenda this evening?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Support. Moved by Pollica and supported by Martin. Any discussion? Marnie?
Council members Martin.
Yes.
Pollica.
Yes.
Piana.
Yes.
Leaks May.
Yes.
And Mayor Coulter.
Yes, thank you. The agenda is adopted. So moving on now, the item 4 is presentations, and we have 2 presentations this evening. And the first one is the Arts and Cultural Commission, the Ferndale area, and with the Ferndale Area Chamber, the Artist in You Awards. And I believe Mark Burton, yes, and Jason from the Arts and Culture Commission are here to talk about the wonderful event and awards that they recently announced.
Council, Mayor.
You want to go up to the podium, please? So all the folks at home can hear you?
You moved it.
Yes, we did. We did. It's moved since you were here last.
You do things on me. This year, the Chamber of Commerce and the Arts and Culture Commission decided we had 2 separate scholarship shows. We combined them under the brand name of The Artist in You. And we had a wonderful exhibit at the Ferndale Library and also at Level 1 Bank. And I would like to thank the mayor for presenting the awards at our ceremony. Unfortunately, the chamber is not here tonight. But we're here to present the checks and the awards to our winners. We did the 3D scholarships. So, from Ferndale High School, Kiara Banks was our winner. And I don't think she's here tonight.
Okay.
And our other winner, who attends CASA, was Phelan Johnson. Is she here tonight?
Hey, come on up, Phelan. Yes.
I have your certificate and your check. And Mayor, would you mind coming down? Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm sorry you couldn't make the show.
No, yeah. Thank you.
We'll come back.
See, this is the problem.
Yeah, right, for this. Yeah. You did this once already.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
The chamber had 6 winners, and those will be blown up into 4x6 outdoor plaques that will be on buildings around the city. 3 of their students received $500 scholarships. Unfortunately, they're not here tonight, so I can't speak for them. But I would like to thank you all for the support. The Arts and Culture Commission is extremely dedicated to bringing the arts to Ferndale and making this art town. So thank you.
And I thank you for involving our students in that. You know, a lot of times we work directly with the artists and the art community, but I appreciate that you reached out to our students, and they're a very talented group of people. We have wonderful art teachers in Ferndale School.
They are
and we have
extremely
some
talented,
amazing-
and one of the art instructors is here tonight, Jerry Limonu.
Oh, yes, yes.
Who teaches-
Nice job. Congratulations.
He instructs both at Ferndale High School and at CASA,
Yeah,
and I have worked with him for quite a while, and
well, your
He's
students
amazing.
did you proud, sir. Thank you. Great. Thank you.
so thank you.
Yes.
May I just mention that I know the chamber's not here, but I do know that there's one of the students here that won. I saw her artwork, and it was fantastic. But, Violet, will you stand up? Violet Toomey?
Yeah. Oh, Violet. Please come. Violet. Oh, come on up. Yes, come on up. Come on. Two of our additional winners. One.
This is Violet Toomey, and she's a triple threat. She had artwork in both shows. And that's her mother, Karen. Okay, and introduce
Yeah,
yourself,
introduce
please.
yourself and tell us a little bit
I'm
about your
Rebecca
art.
Parton,
Yeah.
and I made the art piece. It's untitled, but I made a title, The Artist in Me.
Oh.
The original, right?
Oh, I like that. And did I hear your mom say you're going to try to go to CCS next year?
What was that?
Are you going to CCS next year? Is that what your mom told me?
I'm thinking about it,
Oh, you're
yeah.
thinking about it. All
No,
right.
you have to go to CC.
Yeah.
If I can.
Well, congratulations. You did a wonderful job.
Thank
Both of
you.
you, all three of you did.
And we hope to see Violet next year. So thank you.
I just want to, are there any more art students that we're missing that? Please.
Oh, yes. Oh, so
Well, we
you do have the students here. Oh. Yikes.
We have some amazing art students.
Hello.
Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Chloe Wallama. There's a piece on the Rust Belt. I won last year, so that was mine. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Thank you, you guys. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. Our next presentation is a proclamation for Poppy Week. And Frank, as you come to the podium, I will read this proclamation, which you ask us, and we gladly adopt every year. So this will help folks at home understand what we're doing. So the week of May 16th to the 21st, 2016, will have special national significance because of its designation as National Poppy Week, a period when the emphasis is on raising funds for a broad project of unquestionable merit. And Americans enthusiastically support this annual tribute to their war dead, which provides funds for the rehabilitation and increased comfort of those deserving disabled veterans of all wars. And the sale of this flower of remembrance, again, will be handled by the American Legion and the VFW Veterans with its auxiliary units. Now, therefore, I, David Coulter, Mayor of the City of Ferndale, officially declare and proclaim the week of May 16th to the 21st, 2016 as Poppy Week in the City of Ferndale, and urge all of our citizens to support this sale, which has great significance for the living victims of war.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Again, this is my 39th year attending the council meeting here. Back then, I used to bring my sons over here, and we went through this program. I have a little say here, notation. You are, if you're not aware that over the past 16 years of the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, over 900,000 men and women have been wounded. 6,845 Americans died. Most of these veterans have returned home. Many returned to the hospitals to make their lives livable once again through surgeries, prosthetics, and many needed psychiatric help that they need our help too. The medical costs to the veterans are covered but these things we take for granted, simple things like toothpaste, socks, stamps, shaving needs, mouthwash, books, and much more, In this economy, it's easy to forget others, but we cannot forget our veterans. Those wonderful people are just like us before them, put in their years of service to protect our borders and our country. 100% of the money collected from the poppy sales is donated to the Veterans Hospital. May is the month that we veterans recognize other veterans, be it the ones in the hospitals or rehabilitation centers, be it the ones currently fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan to keep us safe, and ones who have already given their lives for our country, and who left their families in need here at home. May ends with Memorial Day, but on May 19th, 20th, and 21st again, we celebrate Poppy Days, our chance to do our part for those who are doing and have done their part. Please reach deeply into your pockets this year. We desperately need your help. Show your veterans that you care. Enclosed, you'll find I have the poppies here to distribute. Please display your poppy in the car or in person and let others know of your help and alliance to the cause. God bless our veterans, and God bless America. Again, Council, I thank you for letting us do this again one more time. I'm still hanging in there. I'll be there on 9 Mile and Woodward like I have.
You, Frank. Thank you for
and I will
doing
approach you first on the sales.
We always get to be the first purchasers, right?
Well, thank you.
All right.
Those in the audience, I'll be walking.
We do, well, we appreciate you, Frank, especially since we know that the Ferndale Post of the VFW of the American Legion is not here anymore, but you have remained active and have kept this program in particular going all of these years, and we really appreciate it.
You know, the Ferndale VFW is now in Madison Heights, as you know.
Yes.
They got a building, they're going strong.
Okay.
And we ourselves, myself, I transferred since Ferndale left into the city of Madison Heights, so American Legion. Thank you.
This will be our tradition. Yeah, we can get it there. Okay. All right. And if there's anyone in the audience who would like one, I'm sure Frank would be happy to sell you one. Oh, and here's your proclamation, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you, Frank. All right. Moving on now to the next item of business would be called to audience, which is your opportunity for those of you who are here in the audience with us to come and say anything that's on your mind. You get 3 minutes to say anything that's on your mind that's not on the agenda, because you'll get an opportunity to speak to that when we get to that part of the agenda. So come on up, give us your name and your address if you're comfortable doing so, and 3 minutes is yours. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Joanne Wilcox, 1615 West Marshall, and my other hat, which was before was the Arts Council, is now the Memorial Association. As you know, the Ferndale Memorial Association puts on the parade every year. This year is our 98th continuous parade. We are the longest, oldest parade in Michigan. No matter what anybody says, we have proof, just so you know. I just wanted to remind everybody, if you have a group that would like to march in our parade, we would love to have you. We have a donation of $25 that goes with it to help put on the parade. We put on our parade for less than $1,000, so it's really very economical. Our biggest expenses are programs and porta potties. So we like to see the community out and as much as possible. At the end, I'll give you my phone number, so if anybody can call me if necessary. The other thing we want to say is that on May 19th at Schiffer Park, they're having a bicycle rodeo, and I'm encouraging kids to come for that, because we will also, with the Memorial Association, we will be helping them decorate their bikes, pimp them out a little bit, and please then bring them to the parade. We encourage kids to ride their bikes in the parade, preferably just kids. Please keep an eye on them so it's pretty good. Some adults do like to ride with them. I also like to stress we have a double theme for the parade every year. It's Lest We Forget, and For Those Who Gave Their All. There's a brief service always after the parade at the memorial. Speaking of the memorial, our memorial is in bad shape, and we are doing fundraising, taking donations as much as we can so that we can renovate it. It's probably a $60,000 to $70,000 renovation that we need. We're about getting close to about a third of the way there so that we can start our phase one of the program. We're selling bricks for it as well. Don't expect to see them immediately. We have to get enough and get that renovation started before we can put them in. But we are taking the orders for them. I think right now they're 75 and 125, depending on whether it's the smaller brick or the big square. And again, you can always call me and find out, if there's any other information. And we have, I can send you out the applications for it, anything else. But again, I'm Joanne Wilcock, and my phone number is 248-398-8219 for anybody that's interested.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joanne.
Thanks.
Good to see you. All right. Yes, Karen.
Good evening. Karen
Good
Toomey
evening.
from the Ferndale Board of Education. First of all, I just want to give a very personal thank you to the Arts and Cultural Commission and the Area Chamber for their support of the Artists Contest. And so that's just wonderful, and one of the many ways that our community works together to support the schools. I just wanted to come in front of you today because we have been receiving a lot of questions regarding the sinking fund. First of all, I have to say that I think sinking fund is possibly the worst name ever given to anything. It's really more of a proactive pay-as-you-go fund that we're going out for. So if I could rename it, I would, but that is the term that is given to such endeavors. And so we are going to be coming before you on the August ballot to ask for 1.3 mils to support a sinking fund, or as I like to call it, proactive pay-as-you-go fund. And I just wanted to make sure that people are aware of where the information is located, so please feel free to visit our website at ferndaleschools.org. There's links to the sinking fund site right there. And then also, anytime you have personal questions, feel free to email us at schoolboard@ferndaleschools.org. If you email schoolboard@ferndaleschools.org, we'll be sure to get back to you right away. I know one of the most frequent questions I've been getting, for example, is why is it that you're not waiting until the November ballot? And so a simple answer to that is that while it may seem like just 3 months to us, it actually, in terms of school years, would put us an entire school year behind, because you may have noticed that we have children in the building most of the school year, and if we want to get our projects done, we have to address them in the summer, or else it actually forces us to wait an entire school year. So that is just one of the questions that we have received at ferndaleschools.org. So please feel free to also come out to see a forum that we are organizing. So on May 26th, 7 o'clock at the Ferndale High School, we will also be answering questions. So again, Ferndale High School, May 26th at 7 o'clock. Anybody who has questions about the Proactive Pay-As-You-Go Fund may come out and have their questions answered.
It is a better name. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Karen. Well, good evening.
We're back.
Good.
With our signs.
Yeah.
My name is Ed Allison. This is my wife, Kevin, and we're here representing the Michigan Fallen Foot Float. We've been involved in the Memorial Day Parade 7 years. This will be our 8th year. This is something that's very special to me because I am a veteran of the Vietnam era.
Thank you, sir.
As we affectionately call it.
Appreciate that.
And the purpose of the foot float is we have posters of all the Michigan military people that have died in Afghanistan and Iraq. Sad to say, that number's up to 252 now. And the goal of the parade, of the foot float, is to have each poster carried by a person. Last year we had almost 200. We'd like to get all 252 this year represented. You can find the information about where to meet how to sign up at MichiganFallenFootFloat.com. It's got all the telephone numbers and assembly instructions and all that for anyone that wants to participate. We always get a good turnout, but we want the whole thing this time.
That's a great goal.
It's a really moving and exciting time, particularly for us veterans.
Yeah.
A lot of tears. When we're marching, we see people, particularly a lot of those that we've seen along the way, that have people that they've lost, that their face is on one of these posters. And when you experience that, you just can't help but really appreciate the prices paid by these people for our freedom. Again, it's a very special thing to me, and I really invite you to come and enjoy it, honoring these people as much as we do.
It's probably one of the most powerful part of the parade, I think, that's been established. And just remind people again, if they want to volunteer, if they want to walk, how do they do that?
I'm sorry?
Okay, give them the foot floats.
Yeah, how would people contact you or contact the Fallen Foot Soldiers?
All the phone numbers are on the website.
Okay.
But you can call me directly.
No, we won't give out your private number. We'll send them to the website, which is what?
They could show up at Maplehurst and Livernois at anywhere from 8:30 till the time of the parade.
Okay.
So we'll accept that. We do contact, or we try and contact the families of the fallen soldiers, and if they like to march, it's great. But yes, it's.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do.
And like they were saying,
Appreciate
it's 98 years now that our parade's been going on.
That's
so.
right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we appreciate it. Well, good evening.
Whoa. I just wanted to get up and see what this was all about. This is amazing. I feel like I'm in Star Trek.
You'd come to our meetings more often, Miss Davis.
I'm either in Star Trek or in the front seat of Dan Martin's car. Wow. Okay, I'm Jeannie Davis, and I'm here as a follow-up on what Karen said. The seniors are hosting Blake Pruitt on the sinking fund for the school millage, and we're also the same day hosting Jessica from the library on the library millage issue. And everybody's welcome. It'll be June 8th at the Kulik Center at 11 a.m. So they'll be speaking before the seniors.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. And all are invited, right? Just though it's a secret group. All right. All right. Sharon, good evening.
Hi, I'm Sharon Shast, 1119 Earl, and it's that time again. May 22nd, Sousa Palooza. The Ferndale Community Concert Band playing on Sunday, May 22nd, 3 o'clock in the afternoon at Ferndale High School. Please come and join us. It will definitely be a little bit of high stepping, clapping, and reminiscent of the good old days. Also, that being said, with the hard work that Mark Burton and the Arts and Cultural Commission has done, and with the hard work that the Ferndale Community Concert Band has done, and knowing that it's very difficult, if not impossible, for the city to financially support all of the arts and culture that go on in the community, I've done some research to find out how many communities nationwide have city support, meaning that there are actual departments within the city for arts and culture. What was really nice to find out is that in our surrounding community here, Oak Park, Royal Oak, Southfield, we're one of the only cities that do not have that department. So I went on Chicago's culture website, and like the North Shore Concert Band, which is what we built our concert on, they publish a manual on how to create the Arts Commission within the community. So it's 52 pages long, including pictures. For the mayor, I highlighted his copy because he always has so much to read.
Wow.
I also...
April, maybe you could start doing that.
What I also did is the ordinances of Ann Arbor, Southfield, and Royal Oak. I printed off those particular ordinances that are very specific to having an Arts and Cultural Commission supported within the city. So I've created a packet for every one of you and for Justin and Jill as well, because a lot of the communities, what they do is they do it parks, recreation, and arts and culture. So if that was a way. But what I'd like to do is to distribute these for you for your reading in the future, for your consideration in the short term, and hopefully for implementation within a year. What I also discovered as well is if the city chooses to move forward with this, it also qualifies us as a city to have more federally funded and state funded grants. And the nonprofits that are involved in the arts also will have more opportunity for those grants because it's a city buy-in and support. So I'll give this stuff to Marnie, and then she can pass it out to you.
Wonderful, thank you. Yes.
Through the chair, if I may, just for clarification of what you're suggesting, the Arts and Culture Commission is a commission of the city. Are you referring to financial support?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome.
And if you want to, Marnie, if you want to grab those from her, we'll be happy to read that. Thanks. All right. Anyone else like to address council this evening? Yes.
Well, surprise. The chamber is here. They got the time wrong.
Oops.
So I'd like to introduce
We
them.
did move our meetings earlier, sorry. Yeah.
You keep moving things around and furniture, too.
I know.
So I'd like to introduce them and let them present their awards
Awesome.
and their
Thank
checks.
you. Yes. Oh, appreciate
Hi, my name's Kim Hart. I am the new Executive Director at the Ferndale Area Chamber of Commerce. And it's with great pleasure that I am here to submit checks to our Artist in You winners, to our 3 students. Rebecca Parton, $500 scholarship.
Yay! We'll give her another round of applause.
Violet Tawami, and Kat King is also another $500 scholarship winner, but she can't be with us tonight. Oh, do you want to- Come back up.
Violet? Mom?
Yeah. And we also have an additional scholarship to hand for last year for Chloe Walima. And also for Owen Zaber but he is not here today, but he was also a winner for last year, 2015. And thank you so much for having us.
Well, let me just say, and I said this to Arts and Culture Commission, but I want to thank the Chamber for all that you're doing to support the arts among youth in our community. The art was beautiful, but I'm sure the students also appreciate the $500 scholarship that comes with it. So it's also very generous of you to motivate and stimulate their interest in the arts. So thank you for what you do for the kids in our
Thank
community.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also to the chair.
Oh, yes. Whoop.
To
Hey.
the chair.
Yeah.
To the chair.
Yeah.
I just wanted to congratulate the students, and I just want to thank you to the Arts and Cultural Commission and Mr. Burton, the Chamber. I also want to say that I absolutely cannot wait to see all that beautiful artwork on the sides of our buildings, so I'm looking forward to
Very
that.
soon. Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
gave the students an authentic experience. This is what the real world was all about. So
It's
in
a
their,
beautiful show.
Yeah.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah, so still over at Level 1 Bank if anybody wants to see it.
Okay.
Oh, good.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you. Thanks for your support.
Thank you. All right, continuing on with call to audience. I see Ann Heller is just anxious to address us this evening.
Always anxious, always anxious. Ann Heller, 1024 Leroy, and this evening, board president for Fern Care Free Clinic. And of course, what I need to do, and I'm about 133 feet off the floor on this, is to say thank you to everyone who supported our dinner last Friday evening. I cannot thank you enough. It was wonderful. Weather cooperated. The woodchucks cooperated. The freighters on the river cooperated. It was just lovely. And lovely for us, best of all, was all the people, all the donors and supporters who supported us in such a wonderful, wonderful way. Thank you. Dave, Master of Ceremonies, wonderful. Yes, you were again keeping us in line. And I need to tell you that this is just unbelievable. The dinner, through the dinner, we were able to gain 1/5 of our yearly support. When I mean thank you to the donors and supporters, I really say thank you for this. It's just wonderful. No,
Yes.
no, thank you. There would be no clinic without you, no matter what. Thank you. And just in line with that, every single year, the clinic puts out a clinic review, a review of what we've done at the clinic, and is solely about the clinic. It's not about the organization as a whole, but about the clinic. And just a little bit of this report for you. First of all, a really interesting statistic, and I try to use this one all the time. Last year, 54% of our patients work. 54% of the patients. Of that 54%, 60% earn less than $16,000 a year. That's something to be reckoned with. That's really, really interesting. Another thing that you need to know is 58% of our patients come from Oakland County, with 45% of that from South Oakland County. Next is 22% are from Wayne County, and of that 22%, 18% are from Detroit, and then our newest group of patients, significant group, is 19.5% of our patients from Macomb County. This is the most patients we have had in the almost 6 years that we have been open with them. As I said at the dinner last year, our phone calls, we received over 2,500 phone calls asking not only sometimes for appointments, but for everything under the realm of health information and health resources, and we will continue to offer that. That's one of our biggest services that we do to the community. Also, resources is the largest page, is the most visited page on our website, too, and we try to keep that information current. That information is reviewed every 6 months, so people are not frustrated with a dead phone number or a stupid website that doesn't work anymore. We try to keep that pretty current when we do that. Since we have opened, we have served over 1,000 unique patients. Unbelievable, I have to tell you that. Unbelievable that we did that. So there is more information, and the clinic review is up on our website currently, so just go to ferncare.org and you can delve into more of the data about our labs and everything else. But once again, most of all, once again, thank you. Your support is humbling. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the community, thank you, Ann, for all your leadership in that organization. It's a jewel in Ferndale, and you are also. Thank you, Ann. Mike Galleri.
Hello. Just want to remind everybody that this Saturday is the barbecue rib burnout. It's going to be located here in downtown Ferndale in the library parking lot, and it'll be from noon to 9 p.m. And then, of course, I got to remind everybody that Saturday, May 21st, is our 5th annual Clean the Ferndale Up. CleanTheFerndaleUp.com is where you can get the information, as well as register online. And, of course, our featured projects will be the Kula Community Center. That's where also we'll have our check-in and our pep rally prior to getting ready to go for that. And the Memorial Mall on Livernois also will be our other project that we're going to help with them in sprucing up their space and planting some flowers for them. So those of you who are interested, please sign up, CleanTheFerndaleUp.com. Thank you.
Excellent.
May I, through the chair?
Yes, of course.
There's something else, Michael, there's something else happening that same day in this parking lot?
I was so overwhelmed by Ann, I just couldn't think anymore.
She's a hard act.
All overwhelmed by Ann.
She's a hard
She
act
just
to
sucks
follow.
the energy right out of me. Anywho, yes, from noon to 9 on Saturday, the 21st of May, we also will have the one-day temporary recycling drop-off station here in the City Hall parking lot. That is coordinated with both SACRA as well as our own DPW here. Lloyd and his awesome team helped make this possible. We did have some people say, why aren't y'all doing any city parks this year? And I'm like, well, DPW is doing such an awesome job this past year in beautifying and sprucing up and getting all of our parks, you know, to where they are at first class, that we just got to move on and do other things. So thank you for those people in the past. Hope you're coming back, as well as other residents who have nothing to do. But if you don't have time, then consider using May 21st also as a day to spruce up your own house. Take care of your lawn. Do it. Make it an annual event for the entire community to do something good that spruces up the entire community. Okay? Bye-bye.
Very nice. Thank you, Michael. All right. Is there anyone else that would like to address council this evening? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on now to the consent agenda. Consent agenda are items that council considers routine and we enact in one motion unless council removes something from the consent agenda. Let me read that consent agenda for you now. Item A is the approval of the minutes of the regular and special meetings held April 25th, 2016. Item B is the approval of the 2016 Ferndale Dream Cruise presenting sponsorship agreement between the City of Ferndale and Team Detroit LLC as an agent for Ford Motor Company and authorization of the mayor's signature. C is the approval of the service agreement with iCompass Technologies for the Meeting Manager Pro and Video Manager Pro software for $17,300 for the first year and $16,250 for each additional year of service to be charged to the account as noted. Item D is the approval of the stormwater maintenance agreement with Ferndale 4 Properties and authorization for the mayor and city clerk to execute the agreement. Item E is the approval of the agreement for the maintenance of 11 RRFBs with what is RCOC? Road Commission of Oakland County, thank you very much, and the DPW director be authorized to execute the agreement, the expense charged to Major Streets Traffic Signals Repair and Maintenance account. Item F is the approval of the resolution for the city's request for reimbursement from Oakland County under the West Nile virus program, and that the city clerk be authorized to sign it, and to approve the purchase of Natural XRT at a cost of $4,481, $660 after reimbursement from Oakland County, the expense to be charged to the Water and Sewer Fund. Item G is the approval of the repair cost of $6,300 to our EnviroSite portable sewer inspection system, and that the expense be charged to the Water and Sewer Repair and Maintenance Fund. Item H is the approval to authorize the police department to contract Canfield Equipment Services for the equipment changeover necessary for the 2016 Ford Explorer, total amount of $10,782.41 from the motor pool account, capital outlay account. And finally, approval of the bills and payroll as submitted by the city manager's office, subject to review by the Council Finance Committee. What is council's pleasure on the consent agenda this evening?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to pull 6B due to a conflict of interest.
All right, 6B we'll put on the regular agenda. Anything else?
Mayor, with
Yes.
respect to 6C, I'm not suggesting that be pulled, but there are some language issues in that agreement that are still being worked through with the vendor. A possible amendment would be approval of that agreement once its final language is approved by the city attorney. There's still some technical issues that are being sorted out in that agreement.
Great.
With that, I'd like to move that we approve the consent agenda, removing item B and amending item C to include the language subject to approval of the language by the city attorney.
Support.
So moved by Martin and supported by Polika. Now, is there any discussion on the consent agenda? By council or any member of the audience? All right, Marty, would you call the roll, please?
Council members Polika?
Yes.
Piana?
Yes.
Leaks May?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
And Mayor Coulter?
Yes, thank you. The consent agenda is adopted. Moving on now to the regular agenda. Item A is the consideration of 146 Stratford Road rezoning. Justin is going to come and address that issue for us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, rezonings typically are never taken lightly, but this one, however, seemed to be something that took little discussion and an easy recommendation from Planning Commission last month. But 146 Stratford Road is currently zoned C2 General Commercial. It's an existing single-family home, and the applicant is interested in rezoning that to R1 single-family. I believe in the past, years ago, the property was zoned C2 as part of a development that was, because the property is located a few parcels from 8 Mile, there was a, I think, proposed Walgreens that carried from the corner of 8 Mile down to Stratford, and this property was rezoned to C2 years ago. At this time, the applicant is in the process of selling the home, and the owner is interested in keeping it a single-family home. And so, due to the existing non-conforming nature of the property, the future buyer had some issues with gaining insurance and things like that. So, hence the application for rezoning. So, the Planning Commission held the public hearing last month at the April meeting, recommended approval of the rezoning as it meets the criteria of the master land use plan for low density future land use at the property, and the classification aligns with the zoning of the sites that are all along Stratford Road as well. So it's continuing that. And the applicant is here if there's any questions of him, but the Planning Commission's recommendation was approval and seeking your support tonight as well.
And Councilman Martin, you're on the Planning Commission.
No, this is a consistent use of the property as exists today. We fully support the recommendation.
All right.
And there are other properties that have been rezoned from commercial to residential here in Ferndale. Is that correct?
I'm not sure if there has been some recently,
Not
but
recently.
but I would bet that there have been. Sometimes, kind of, the reason that there's probably been a few rezonings in the past year is that we're pretty much we're ending the 5th year of the gap when you need to, when cities have to rework their master plan, and so that's when you start to see some of the rezonings, and so this is kind of timed perfectly with everything else that's going on. So,
if I may, through the chair, this is really more a function of an alternative route unfulfilled, right? It was zoned for commercial that it didn't.
Correct.
The use of the land as envisioned didn't occur, and so
Yeah.
thereby this is just continuing the use of the property as exists today.
Is 138 also currently used as residential?
Is that the church to the south?
It
I
is
believe?
residential. I've been in it.
Okay.
Been converted.
That's the church. Yeah, the old church.
When my going door to door, my first campaign, the kind homeowners showed me the retrofit of their church into a home.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we really aren't eyeing that site for development, and if anything, that probably should be residential too if the need ever arose.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Okay.
I'll present the motion that City Council approve the rezoning request for 146 Stratford Road, Sidwell number 242533482022 from C2 General Commercial to R1 Single Family Residential with the findings and conditions listed in the motion packet.
So it's moved by Martin and supported by Leaks May. Is there any discussion or questions on this item?
No, to me, this is one of those no-brainers. It looks like, originally they were looking to have development off of 8 Mile, so they went so many properties in to zone it commercial, and wasn't anticipating the property to be sold in the future.
Correct.
So I have no issue.
All right. Marnie, would you call the roll, please?
Council members Piana?
Yes.
Leaks May?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Polika?
Yes.
And Mayor Coulter?
Yes, thank you. That item is adopted. Thank you. Our second item is formally consent agenda item B, the approval of the 2016 Ferndale Dream Cruise presenting sponsorship agreement between the City of Ferndale and Team Detroit LLC as an agent for Ford Motor Company. And Councilman Pollock, you pulled that item.
Yes, Your Honor. I am an employee of Ford Motor Company, and I just want to make sure that no one interprets my support of it as a conflict of interest. So I will be abstaining. And in order to pull it from the consent agenda, I would have to, if I didn't pull it from the consent agenda, I would have to have abstained on the entire consent agenda. So that's the reason for my request to pull it.
That's consistent with what you've done in the past, as I recall.
That is correct.
That's correct. All right, so is there a motion?
I move that we authorize, I move that we authorize the attached 2016 Dream Cruise presenting sponsorship agreement between the City of Ferndale and Team Detroit LLC as agent for Ford Motor Company, and authorization of the mayor's signature as submitted by the Director of Special Events.
Support. You give it to Piana.
Leaks May, and in a close call, Mayor Pro Tem Piana.
How generous.
Is supporting.
Councilman Martin.
I'll make that determination. All right. Is there any other comment on this one? Other than, good job, Michael, for getting them back for another year. We appreciate that. Wouldn't be able to do the Dream Cruise like we do without them, so thank you. All right. Marnie, would you call the roll, please?
Council members Leaks May?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Piana?
Yes.
And Mayor Coulter?
Yes, thank you. That item is adopted. Moving on now to call to council. Police Chief, anything for the good of the community this evening?
Thank you, Your Honor. Council, we neglected to get the yearly Police Week request for a recognition from council. I would like to read it to you and let you know that Police Week is the week that is designated Police Memorial Day is designated for officers that have fallen. Even though technically it falls within this week on Sunday, they have elected to celebrate Police Week the following week. So Police Memorial Day is Sunday, and the Police Memorial Week is next week. The Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15th as Police Memorial Day, and the week in which May 15th falls is Police Memorial Week. It is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and all the members that our law enforcement agencies recognize the duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property and protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. I ask council to call upon the citizens of Ferndale and upon all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe Sunday, May 15th, 2016 as Peace Officer Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in the service of their community or have become disabled in the performance of their duty, and let us recognize and pay respects to the survivors of our fallen heroes. If I could.
Well said, sir.
Further, on May 17th, we will have our yearly police memorial ceremony in front of City Hall, and we invite all citizens and, of course, council to attend that. It's a very short ceremony. We'll have the youngsters from Roosevelt Elementary School say the Pledge of Allegiance again, so we would appreciate your attendance, if at all possible. And next week, or the next council meeting, we will be bringing in 3 brand new police officers. Officer Sismedia has started, and last week, Officer Bishop was graduated from the police academy this past Thursday evening, was sworn in today, and Officer Gardner will graduate from the police academy on Monday. So we should have all 3 here to introduce to the city council and to the community next or 2 weeks from tonight.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Look forward to that.
If I may, through the chair,
Yeah.
what time is the memorial service?
It is at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, 17th.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just to let you know that the Safe Zone for Craigslist works, because I have attempted to sell a few items, and each time I've asked 3 different people to meet me there, they have declined to do so.
And that's exactly what it's there for.
That's right.
Very good. It keeps the bad guys away when you say you want to do the transfer at the police station.
Yes, it does. Great reminder. Thanks, Sharon. Anything for the Recreation Department this evening? We're gearing up for spring. Lots of new and exciting stuff happening, I'm sure.
Just a few quick announcements. For those residents that are interested in obtaining a dog park membership this spring, a prerequisite for obtaining a membership is to take the dog safety class. Our next class is this Thursday, May 12th, from 7 to 8 at the Kulik Center. We still have space available, and there is a link to register on the event calendar on the city website. So if you find right on the home page, I believe it shows up. Just click on that, register, and then you'll be on your way to getting a membership. Coming up, as Joanne mentioned earlier, next Thursday, May 19th, is our annual bike rodeo. This year we'll be having it downtown at Schiffer Park from 4 to 8. The police department will be on hand with, we'll be issuing out bike licenses. The Rotary will be there fitting kids with bike helmets. As she mentioned, the Memorial Association will be there with manning a bike decorating station for kids to decorate their bikes, to hopefully then be in the parade. So we encourage everyone to come on down and join us on May 19th. Coming up on May 21st is our bubble soccer. Originally what started out as a tournament, we've changed the format. It's going to be a drop-in program. Games, folks can come, they can pay $3 per game, come check it out. You can play as many games as you'd like, or just come play one game, and check it out. And then hopefully next year we're going to bring back the tournament. So it's coming up May 21st, 10 to 2 at the high school. And lastly, coming up on June 11th is our annual Trunk and Treasure Sale, which will be right out here at City Hall parking lot. We are still accepting vendor applications. So if you have, if you've done some spring cleaning and you've cleaned out your garage or your basement, and would like to come sell your stuff, that information is on the city website, ferndalemi.gov. And I lied, I do have one more thing. We are still, as part of the master plan update, we are currently seeking input for the Parks and Recreation portion of that master plan. So we encourage residents to fill out that survey. The link is on the city website. And we also have hard copies here at City Hall and at the Kulik Center. So we'll be looking for that. And for the parks. Yes, there are also parks at each sign complements a DPW with a QR code, so you can fill it out on your phone, scan the QR code, and you'll be able to fill that out online. So that's it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Community and economic development. Anything? I'm looking. I don't know which one to look at.
They both respond.
I know. They both respond, and neither of them have anything. All right. Joe, anything from the? Okay. Lloyd, anything from DPW this evening?
Oh boy. Anyway, graceful entry. Just want to let council and residents know they may see DPW vehicles out dropping pellets or tablets into our storm system. That is a natural product. It's actually a bacteria that will help kill mosquitoes, and will treat the areas that they breed in. This year we're going to take a more aggressive approach. I mean, everybody's been hearing in the news that we not only have to worry about West Nile, we also have to worry about the Zika virus. So we're switching our product to a more long-lasting version of the same ingredient so that it will cover the entire breeding season for a number of different mosquitoes. So it's a 6-month tablet. That will prevent us from having to do it twice, but also provide us greater coverage. And I would also encourage residents to look around their yard and look for stagnant water, whether it's in toys, swing seats, anywhere that a mosquito might be able to breed or lay eggs. more action we take now will mean less mosquitoes later in the year and potentially less disease. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Kara, anything from the, oh?
Would it help? Thank you very much.
No problem.
Our residents don't like the mosquitoes. Does it help if I would take dish soap and go around the manhole out down at the corner?
No, the most effective, because what happens is that will just wash away in a storm, whereas the tablet dissolves slowly over its time release and will keep it where it will, the eggs will not be able to act, the larvae will not survive in the swamp of the catches.
Would that be it? But it wouldn't be harmful or work against your tablet if I choose to do this?
I wouldn't recommend it only that because without knowing the exact ingredient that you're putting in the stormwater, I would be fearful that something might happen to stormwater.
Dish soap would help to prevent
Different types of dish soap, so I mean that isn't what they recommend. I wouldn't recommend anybody introducing anything to the stormwater, so you can keep it as natural as possible.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Kara. Excuse me.
Hello. I just have one quick reminder for residents. We haven't talked about our Ferndale Forum and our fabulous Ferndale Forum and the other offshoots of our forums lately. The audience in both groups and the other groups like it has grown considerably just since last fall. I can tell that there's some new residents or citizens who are now in there, and as such have seen in the last probably 2 months a real surge in questions on the forums about kind of essential city services. So I just want to put the reminder out that we have our own Facebook page for the city. Facebook.com/Ferndale.Michigan. We also have Twitter and Instagram as well at FerndaleMich. And while I'm in the forums, and many of you are as well, the best and fastest way to get questions answered is to just come directly to us on social media. And if people want to send us a private message or post on our page, they'll get a response back generally within a couple of hours. So it's the best way to reach us, and I just wanted to remind people that it's out there, and that's the way to get us.
Excellent. Thank you, Kara. Chief Sullivan, anything from the fire department this evening?
Mr. Mayor, Council, we recently had a house fire of a volunteer for the city. Have to remind everybody, if you're going to smoke, which is bad for your health, but if you're going to do it, doing it outside or in areas not around stuffed or furniture, it's a good idea, because this fire was probably caused by careless smoking, and it did severe damage. And then he also opened windows to air out the smoke, which grew the size of the fire probably 10 to 12 times before our arrival. So closing all windows and doors and exiting the building is the safest thing to do, and it also chokes out the fire and prevents the fire from spreading to other areas of the building. So just so you know, that smoke does a lot of damage. Even if the fire didn't reach other parts of your building, the smoke will do severe damage, so to clothing, other products that it attaches to, because it's hydrocarbons, and there are very deadly chemicals inside the hydrocarbons. So close everything, leave the building, call us, and we'll take care of the rest of it. Thank you.
Great reminder. Thanks, Chief. So the budget's done, but anything else from finance going on that we should know about? Your biggest task is over.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, we're getting ready to do the property taxes. So I want to remind residents that you have until May 12th to pay any delinquent water bills or delinquent miscellaneous bills that you've been sent, or they'll roll over to the taxes. So you have till May 12th. So anything 6 months delinquent on the miscellaneous receivables, and I think past due December 1st. Okay. The other thing I have is a handful of residents have probably received a letter from the state. Oakland County is being audited by the state. And since Oakland County is our assessor, they're auditing our assessing process that Oakland County uses. So they've sent out about 30 surveys There'll be a letter on the front to the resident. There's some frequently asked questions on the back. They're just checking out the system, make sure it's working. There's numbers on the back if you've got additional questions.
Okay, good.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Marnie, anything from the city clerk's office?
Nothing tonight, thank
Nothing
you.
this evening. All right, April, anything from the city manager's office?
Nothing tonight.
Wow. Dan, anything from the legal?
Just one item, Your Honor, with the comment about the sinking fund proposal that the school's looking into. Since last council meeting, there was a decision by a federal court judge enjoining Public Act 269, which would limit what local elected officials can say about ballot initiatives. What it does is it allows for factual information to be provided regarding local ballot initiatives. So that's an important issue regarding local communities.
Right. Thank you. Great. Councilman Martin.
I have nothing this evening.
All right. Councilwoman Leaks May.
Nothing tonight.
Nothing this evening. Councilman Polika.
I have nothing. Mr. Larry covered what I was going to talk about, and so did Ms. Manchik, so.
Yep. And, all right. Mayor Pro Tem Piana.
Yeah, real quick. May 19th, bike rodeo has been brought up a couple times. I'll be leading a short family-friendly bike ride as part of the rodeo, and more details will be coming out about that in the next week. But I'm really excited to show folks about our bike lanes and how easy it is to bike in Ferndale. And then next is the Regional Transportation Authority is getting ready to roll out its plan for expanding transit services. May 31st is a big date for them. They're rolling out the regional plan, how to connect Oakland, Macomb, Washtenaw, and Wayne counties together. And so it is at the Lawrence Technology Institute, Tuesday, May 31st from 10 to 2. And I believe I will be there. But after that, shortly, hopefully, actually before that, I'm hoping that City Council will be able to review and discuss the a Coalition for Transit resolution in support of the campaign, and so bringing that forth for our next council meeting. And that's it.
All right. And speaking of the Regional Transit Authority, Michael Ford, who is the executive director of that organization, is going to be here in Ferndale a week from Thursday, presenting to the Mayor's Business Council, which will happen on May the 19th. So we're excited to expose him to our business community, and hopefully he can advocate to them, and they can share with him how important regional transit is for jobs and businesses in our community. So a lively discussion about that. And the last thing I would simply like to say is yesterday was Mother's Day, and I wanted to wish a happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers in our community, or the people who act to mother people in our community, even if they're not your biological children. We appreciate all that you do in our community, so thank you and happy Mother's Day. I would adjourn, but I see a gentleman here who may have missed public comment, and are you interested in addressing council tonight, sir? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I saw you come forward. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So come on up.
Can I stay here?
Yes, you may.
I get hassled by the police, the fire department, and the city workers every day. They pull up in front of my house, look at me. When I ask them what they want, they take off. I don't know what to do to stop it. I walk down my street, people walk out of their house and turn their backs on me. I don't know what that's all about either. I call the police, I ask them, and unless I got a car number or whoever, they won't say nothing. I don't know what to do to figure out what this problem is, but people hassle me. I sit on my front porch with my dogs, and the police come by, the fire department will drive by, city employees drive by in their cars and their pickups, their trucks. The guy that drives the backhoe, he's really good for following me around. Last time I went to the dog park, there was a policeman there waiting for me to come in so he could evaluate me. Another time I went to the dog park, there was a policeman sitting up on Hilton Road watching me. As soon as I leave, they all leave. I don't know what I've done or who I've offended, but I wish it would stop.
I don't either, sir, but I guess my suggestion would be, if you don't mind, would you give your name and number to our city manager, and or to Joe, who's our assistant city manager, who's sitting right next to you. That might be more convenient, and we'll follow up with you because
Hey, in the last 2 years, you guys have spent thousands of dollars in gasoline going up and down in front of my house.
I don't understand it as well, sir, but if you don't mind, if you're comfortable giving Joe your contact information, he'll look into it and get back with you, okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Not going to be like the police department, is it?
No. No, sir. All right, and with that, our meeting is adjourned.